dozens of minutes flying this thing so far. That is a great look to this guy. Welcome to the fascinating world of traffic signals. Today, I'm here in D'Iberville at this Divergent Diamond because I find this one fascinating, and I have a little surprise for you guys that I want to show y'all here soon. But today I want to go over some of the comments, questions, and concerns that y'all had on a previous video. So let's get right into it. Raymond, you asked, since you are a contractor, do we have to buy the equipment directly, or is it supplied from the city, state, signal heads, wiring, boxes, so on and so on? Raymond, great question. We are contractors, so on majority of the projects we do, we have to order all of the equipment, signal heads, traffic signal controller cabinets, cable, conduit, the whole 9 yards, and we even have to do the foundations. We have to do pretty much everything from beginning to finish on intersections. Now, we do have contracts with certain cities, and whenever they want us to do anything, they usually supply the equipment while we provide the man hours, labor, and the trucks, and do the full install. But they'll provide signal heads, poles, and anchor bolts, so on and so on. We usually actually order the anchor bolts, but things out in the field, some cities will get us to use their materials and redo or build brand new intersections with what they have, while on majority of the projects we order everything, if that makes sense. Maintenance, the city provides it. Everything outside of maintenance, we provide it. Hope that answers your question. All right, next question. Why do we never, and this is from Paul, why do we never see McCain or Peak equipment in the signal controllers? And it's the same reason why we don't see a lot of Econolite products, and that is because it's not necessarily up to us on who, and look real quick on these signal cameras out here, there's a motorcycle driver right out here, as you can see him, and that camera is picking him up just fine. He will get the green light here at this Divergent Diamond. He's about to get the green light. He just got it, and you can see he is driving away. Sorry, got a little distracted there. But we only use equipment that they tell us what they want installed, so they have to come up with the specs. And Temple is our main supplier here on the Gulf Coast, or really the Southeast region. Temple owns a lot of the market, so a lot of our equipment like cabinets, that will come from Temple, and the products they sell for the most part is what the majority of what we'll use here in the state. Twin Crest is another great supplier. That's like Wavetronics products. Grid Smart comes from Cubic, and you'll see a little bit of their equipment videos as well. But not a lot of McCain or Peak equipment. I have torn down old Peak equipment, and that is from cities like City of Jackson. They'll usually have older signal equipment out there, and that's where you'll start seeing a lot of those kind of things. But other than that, you'll see a lot of Unix, which is just Simmons, and then you'll see a lot of Temple EDI products that we use. Iteris, Wavetronics. Temple doesn't supply Wavetronics, but Twin Crest does, and that's a big supplier here in the state too. Robert, you asked, how much does a normal traffic light weigh? So one of these plastic heads, just like you see out here on this pedestal, it's all plastic. There's a little bit of metal on the mounting brackets. The LEDs don't weigh a lot either. Those weigh about 30 pounds, a little more than 30 pounds. Pretty easy to install. There is old 3M heads, old Eagle heads that are all metal, and those can get into the hundreds of pounds at times. You definitely got to be warned and plan when you tear down some of those old 3M heads, especially a Doghouse one. They get very heavy. But typical ones and modern poly ones that we're going to be installing for the majority of every project you'll ever see, they're about 30 pounds a piece. This question, Ken, you should keep up the super great attitude and strong work ethics and effort. It's something you don't see very often. Thanks. Thank you, Ken. I do appreciate that comment. I try my best to keep up the great attitude. Don't look into the politics of anything. I love my job. You just come out here, you help everybody by, trying to build and direct the traffic flow, which really helps everything. That's one of our logos right here, helping to build and direct our future. And that's what we're trying to do out here. We're trying to keep everybody safe on the roads. So it's easy to have a good attitude when you're out here trying to help out others. you can, think we can get our hands on these old signal heads when we're done. Unfortunately, and I have given away a bunch of signal heads, and I have tried doing giveaways and other things like that with traffic lights, but unfortunately that is kind of difficult to do with shipping. These traffic lights weigh, like I already said, 30 pounds more or less, and then the box, it would cost a little bit extra. I know a lot of y'all would cover shipping, but I don't even know how much. One day I'll get right into that. Honestly, I need to get with the supplier and see about just brand new traffic lights and doing giveaways with the supplier. I think that would be real cool. I can maybe get with Temple. I got a couple salesmen that I can call and maybe see about them handling the shipping, handling the whole traffic light while we do a giveaway, and I'll just pay them the cash. You know, if I got to pay $1,000 for a light and give it away, I would find that very interesting over a torn down one and then let me spend $400 to ship it. I'd rather somebody just get a brand new light if I'm gonna ship or go direct. You know, I've always tried to offer up these old traffic signals to people, locals around the area, before we just junk them if we're throwing them away. All right, now for another comment. Moose, you said a drone would be a great asset to the channel in general, be able to give more of a visual sometimes, and I 100% agree. So I know I said 5,000 likes on a video, but I planned on getting one anyways. I just picked up a DJI Mini 3, nice little drone. I have dozens of minutes flying this thing. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. Also, comment down below if you've ever ran a red light before. Let's get right back into it. So heck, let's get this thing broke out. I don't know how to get a microphone attached to it, so my plan is gonna be I'm going to mount the GoPro onto my chest so I can still talk to y'all, and then we will fly this up and I'll do it as an overlay on the drone footage, and y'all should be able to hear me talk the entire time through the GoPro and then while you're watching the drone footage. And I think this is the perfect intersection to go ahead and try flying out that drone. It is a little windy today, but that's all right. This is Divergent Diamond. I want y'all to actually look at this, and maybe we'll even fly up to this high mast light and try to take a good look at that. I know that's interesting as well. So let's crack this thing open. Let's get it set up. I'm gonna get the GoPro mounted onto me, and let's see what kind of footage we can get with it. You see, it's definitely a little bit windy today. Here's the drone footage. It's pretty cool. Again, dozens of minutes flying this thing so far. So I think we'll get some good videos. Let's go up high and let's take a look here. Make sure there's no overhead. No overhead at all. We're good. So to show y'all a good example over here, right here on this approach, I'll come over here on the cabinet and just check it out, make sure I'm right. So here on the approach that y'all can see here, this is phase 4. Now we rotate over on this Divergent Diamond. This right here is phase 2. So this is how you get your vehicle approach phases. All right, let's fly around. So this is Divergent Diamond. Let's go up higher. Dang, that thing is high up in there. And you can see how phase 4 cuts across traffic. Phase 2 will do the same to get back on the correct side of the road. And if we aim up a little bit, you'll see it goes across the bridge, and we can actually go over that direction, and you'll see the other side of this Divergent Diamond. Flying over the interstate a little bit. But you'll see where they cut across on this Divergent Diamond. There's a whole nother signal controller cabinet over there that actually controls this side of it. And we will see, oh man, I just cut out of the app on accident. Connect back to it, please. It's a little dangerous, huh? All right, so as you can see, that other intersection is controlled by another traffic signal controller cabinet, and those vehicles on that approach, they're gonna cut across the traffic lanes and then be diverted into the oncoming traffic lanes, which will then give them free access to cut on to I-10 right here and actually give them the free, clear path to get onto the interstate, as you can see here, if I'm good at directions. Oh, now let's get distracted and go over to this high mast light. because this thing is very interesting. This is about 150 feet up in the air, and you can see this guy very clear. You can tell, a little hard to tell, at the very top there, you can see there is a lightning rod. And that keeps this thing from getting damaged during every lightning storm kind of power surge on the top. It can take a direct hit without ruining the lights themselves. And there we are, this Divergent Diamond. This is a great view of it. It looks fantastic. And you can tell where these vehicles are cutting across and getting into the oncoming lanes of traffic. Let's fly back over to us a little bit. And even come down some. Alright, back over to Divergent Diamond. As you can see, so for y'all to actually get a good visual, I'm over here and you got it from the traffic signal controller cabinet, and then you go over to that first pull box over there. We got cables running, and it will run to those two signal heads on the pedestal themselves. Some conduits will run out and over to them, and some more bore pipe will run across and go to another pull box over to this mast arm here. And same, out of that pull box from the cabinet side, it will also connect to another pull box down over here. You can kind of see it in this island by the mast arm itself. And that's how we get cable to all of these traffic signal heads out there, is by pulling a cable to those pull boxes and then up this mast arm here and into the traffic signal lights themselves. Let's flip back around and look. Same over here, we have some PTZs, some cameras on top of this shaft. We also have a luminaire light, and these Divergent Diamonds take a lot of signage and proper signage that you have to have while working at one of these intersections. And you can see the vehicles cutting through the approaches here, and it's also fascinating. Alright guys, I am super excited to keep kind of getting drone footage. I'll hopefully learn how to get a microphone set up and everything like that on this guy, and maybe make this a lot easier. I don't have to have the GoPro set up on me to talk to y'all. See the truck there. Let's go get a good view of I-10 real quick. Just go up high. This thing flies up pretty high, I'll tell you that. I haven't tested out everything on it yet. I've just got this drone here, so definitely gonna have to wait and get a little bit better with it before I try to just go crazy over traffic or anything like that. I've read all the rules and what I can and can't do. Y'all can see a lot of infrastructure here. Heck, you can see all of D'Iberville's promenade on the back side here. That is where we're located at. Got dealerships, and you got shopping centers over here. You can see Kohl's pretty well. And then you see the interstate system. And heck, man, I don't think you even need ITS equipment anymore. I think you just got to come out here with some drones, and this would work just as well. I had to make sure I was recording on the GoPro. I'd be a little upset if I wasn't. All right, so we got a good view of I-10. We got a great view of this Divergent Diamond. You can see the other side of the intersection, and obviously you can see a great view of this intersection, and that's how the Divergent Diamond looks. And we have gone over how it works and how these vehicles divert over into oncoming traffic to get on and off this intersection, this interstate, and never have it backed up. It's very efficient. That is a great look to this guy. All right, let's come in for a landing. Let's get down low, see if we can't land this thing. Coming back down. Oh yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna have a great time in Jackson with this thing. Oh, I'm still looking at the ground, ain't I? And there we go. gotten some cool, interesting footage of this Divergent Diamond. Still not great with all the controls, but I'm getting better, and I will get better with it. Sweet.
Landing.
And as simple as that. Got a bunch of cool footage and a really cool new addition to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna have this little drone, hopefully get a lot of use out of it before I break it, because I'm sure that's inevitable. I'm gonna end up breaking it sooner or later. So, I'll set this guy down, and now I'm excited to actually go over all the footage and get this guy edited. You see, these cameras are so good. They also pick up electric vehicles. That is a Tesla right here at this stop bar, and they are being picked up just fine by this traffic camera. I don't know why to say that. I just thought it was kind of funny to include that in there. I know I included the motorcycle thing, so may as well include the dang, that thing is quiet. Electric cars, kind of cool. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the Q&A, though, overall. I hope y'all are excited for the drone footages and a lot more to come. And, yeah, as always, thanks for watching.